Michael,
Can I say something?
what is it you want to ask me now?
It's very important.
No, right now, you can see I'm busy. I'm going for a party.
Please, Mom, it's very, very important.
I'm running late already. When I come back, please. Thank you. Thank you. Later. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Mom.
Many a times, we, plus me, we unconsciously, do things that leads to depression and mental health without being known, without thinking about it. Because when someone comes to you and they ask you for a listening ear and you ignore the person, you don't know what the person wants to say. You don't know what the person is going through. At that moment, you don't know. Now, the person might not come back telling you that same problem. Join me today as we talk about this topic a little bit on mental health and depression is a real problem in our society, in our lives. Our excellence here. See you later in the studio.
It's time to talk.
Please join me as I make welcome a very young and pretty lady to the show today. She's into a lot of stuff, but she's going to tell us more of who she is and what she does. Make welcome, Miss Faith. Wow, it's so good to have you.
Yeah, so good to have you, ma'am.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Miss Faith, you're welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
We like to always ask people to tell who they are. Okay. Even though I know a little bit about you, I don't like to introduce people to, I like you to say your own story. So tell us who you are.
Okay, thank you very much, and it's really a pleasure being here with you.
Thank you.
I'm Faith, and I'm a development practitioner. I work with an NGO, and I am a podcaster, and yeah, that's it. And I just love talking about lifestyle as it pertains to mental health.
Wow.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Hey, wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. What do you like to do normally?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
What do you like to do, as a young lady?
Okay, I love to read because I love exploring the world in books. So I love to read, I love to dance, and I just really love to have conversations as it pertains to life. Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful,
yeah.
Beautiful. You're very young, and for you to talk so maturely, it takes, I like it. We're going to talk a little bit today. We have a case study, and I want you to throw some light to that. We have a case study today. Of recent, there was this incident. With all respect to the dead, and with all due respect to those that are going through loss and pain, but this is something we have to talk about, There's this young man, he's the founder of an eatery. You can see he's well established. May his soul rest in peace. But he committed suicide. I wanted to talk a little bit or share a little bit about our mental health, our mental state, and how it affects the things that we do in life generally.
Okay, thank you very much. Because I had heard of the story, I read on it, and I was very shocked because going through his portfolio, who it is he is and how well accomplished he is in life, one would wonder why would somebody so successful even consider suicide, seeing that, okay, you have money at your beck and call, because his portfolio is fixed money. You have money at your beck and call, and you have a wife, you have a family, you have children. And one would say that's all what is needed for contentment, right? But he still went ahead to commit suicide. And going through that would know that mental health is really something that is not really talked about in this region, because there's a lot of shying away here and there. But mental health is really a state of your emotional, psychological, and social well-being, and it's something that should be really prioritized. Because if you see, from what I read, they said that he went through a depression because of a loss that he had. I think he betted and he went astray, and that got him into depression. And one would wonder, even if you had such a loss, with all it is you have, you could still kick. Come on, you're a business magnet, right? You could still kick off and build your life here and there, but he still went ahead. So I feel mental health is beyond what it is we have. It's beyond the riches we accumulate. It's beyond who it is that we are within the world. It's something that this region really, really needs to look at and take it as priority. Yeah.
Wow, that is wonderful. It's sad. It's sad, and also it's something that I don't know. It's very emotional because every one person is dealing with an issue, one thing or the other. Everyone, no matter the status. But you said something that made sense to me. People aspire, they want to be like somebody.
Yeah.
They want to be like Dangote, for instance. And they feel like when they are in Dangote's shoes, life for them is okay.
Yeah.
But today we know that's the people that really, really want to understand that life itself, if misunderstood, we can begin to lay our priorities in a wrong way. Is that true or not?
I think it's very true. It's very true because if we think that when we attain a certain height or attain a certain level that everything is just going to be okay, that's not true. That's not true. So I really feel like, as you said, we should prioritize something more than material things. Because in the long run, if you prioritize things that are important and things that pertain to self-care, you would in the long run live well. Personally, I love self-care. Anything that wants to intrude to self-destruct me, I set boundaries immediately. Yeah, I set boundaries. That's it for me.
That's another thing. That's another topic by itself.
Yeah.
Because in this mental health thing, you keep going and going and going. There's never an end to it. We'll be right back.
It's time to talk.
Welcome back. We're talking about our mental health. Today, how it affects our society, our total being, and what we do. Because for me, I'm a very emotional person. I feel like people walking around me, people that I meet every day, I need to know who they are. But sometimes some people misunderstand you. Because I want to know if they have the right mind to do what they want to do. Like our leaders in Nigeria today. People condemn the president, the senators. Do we know if they are in their right mind? Do you know, are they on medication? What are they doing? Because people just see you and they don't know what is actually eating the person up. What do you think the society and we can do to help ourselves from this kind of situation?
Oh, that's really beautiful, right? Okay, I'll just refer back to his story. I did a research and I found out that statistics-wise, men suffer depression and are more prone to suicide than women. They actually accomplish this suicide intent. And why I'm referring to this is because as a society first, there are lots of dynamics. We need to prioritize the health of men. Because if we just want to start prioritizing other things and then we've not really talked about this gender bias, it's still going to have a lot of problems. Because there are a lot of safe spaces for women. Because even if you want to consider having safe spaces where if something is wrong with you, you could just go share. You're just seeing that even the men, they wouldn't even want to open up themselves or be vulnerable. So as a society, we really need to deal with that gender bias, that gender issue, where if a man is going through something, he would like to open up because they are enabling environments. So we, as individuals in the society, we really have to create that enabling environment where if someone has issues, the person can actually open up. Because if I have issues and then I'm coming to come and meet you and you're like, you're a man up. Or, no, you don't have to whine about this. Or you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. I will pull back. And if something happens, I'd keep pulling back. So we as individuals really have to create that safe space. If someone is vulnerable and then comes to you and the person is vulnerable to you, you should hold it like an egg. Don't just smash it on the ground and or dismiss the person. It will take the person back and it would be very terrible. So as a society, we need to create that safe space. We need to create awareness of these issues because it is very, very, very important.
Today we're talking about our mental health, and there's no end to this topic. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no step, but there are general rules, that if we apply it, it could help. Now, from what you said, today in our society, even as a little child, they make the male child to feel like, oh, men don't cry. Men don't cry, they can, take care, they can manage and all that. That affects everything, just like you said, which is true. Now, our society today is very judgmental. Everybody judges people. And then you see someone going through something, you don't have an idea. You don't have a clue. You don't know. And you begin to judge. How can we come out from this? And how can people have the confidence to say, you know what? I don't care what people say. I need to go and speak. How?
Oh, that's really a big one. How can society ease off on that judgmental? Because it can be really crazy. I'd come out and probably share a story, and before you know it, it's on fire. Why? How would you do this? How would you do this? How would you do this? So I feel like creating an awareness, right, of the effect and the consequences of being judgmental and how it translates to the person or the victim suffering this would help people build more empathy. Because if you're not aware how your judgment can be very destructive, you will not want to tame yourself. So I feel like these stories should keep coming up. Individuals, organizations should bring this awareness thing in front. I think we should even have hashtags like mental health awareness, stop being judgmental, all those hashtags. It has to trend so that it enters the mind of people that you being judgmental will not help. Because if you're being judgmental, the person is pulling back and it's very terrible. So we should build this empathy. I feel like an awareness would help people build more empathy. Because before, I was always very judgmental. Someone something happened to someone and I'm like, and all of those. But now that I'm seeing stories, I'm getting more awareness, it's helping me as an individual build more empathy. That when someone comes with something, I could be a safe space. Or I could empathize with you as an individual, right? So I think that awareness should really be created to help individuals create and have empathy towards people.
Yeah, empathy is a very good word to use
Yeah.
because if actually we feel for each other and have the love,
Yeah.
you know, and some people will say, I know what you're going through. Just by seeing some, I know, but they don't know nothing. They say that and then they go behind and they say something else about you.
Very terrible.
They make you look like, can you see this person of this caliber is doing this? And most people are not given the room to speak out. How can we do that?
Talking about giving that room to speak out, right? I'll still go to gender bias. Because if something happens to a woman, hey God, everybody's ear is standing. What's happening? What's happening? But to men, there is that shift. Like there is that gender bias in having to listen to people. So I feel like awareness is just key because this thing has been really silent in our region, and I know a couple of persons are talking about it as we are today, right? They are talking about it. I feel more people should intentionally
Talk about
push these things out, push it out, so that we are well aware, we are well grounded. Because in first world countries, mental health is very critical. It is very critical. People understand the issues and they take it with so much seriousness. But here, we just flip it here and there. So I feel like that awareness is really, really, really key to help people know these things, and it would help them react better.
You know, outside the country, mental health is a problem. That's why you can see someone will go kill a whole community and they will not hang him because they'll first of all evaluate, check the medication, and they know his mental problem.
Yeah.
Because they feel like someone in the right mind state will not do something.
Yeah.
So they always relate it to but you know, our society, like you said, women are more giving attention. But seriously, our men also are going through a lot. And because they can't even speak out, you know, they are silent. Because some men are actually bullied, even at home, by their wives.
Yeah.
By their spouse, yes.
Yeah.
So men are going through a lot, but the shame, like what will people say, keeps them. And then some men interpret it by violence on the woman or people around them. But you see, when you see a man that is angry all the time, or something, or a man, something is actually wrong.
Yeah.
You have to go to the background and check the history. Something is eating the person up. Now, coming to finding solution. Let's talk about, let me hear your opinion on how we can actually bring solution. We'll be right back.
It's time to talk.
Let's talk a little bit about how we can, because some kids are actually bullied. And on social media, so many kids have committed suicide. Just by words of what other kids or people have said to them. So it's not about age. It cuts across. So how do you think, as a people, as a community, as a city, as a nation, how can we help one another?
How it is we can help one another. First, I think that we can help one another by having a listening ear. A listening ear that I remember as a child, I didn't really have someone I could confide in. I had parents, I still have parents, but you know how that African parents relationship is, right? There is no, like, you cannot just wake up and say, oh, mommy, I want to talk to you about something. And so I'm just not given that room, and I just stay one place and just get overwhelmed. So I feel that as humans, we should start having listening ears. We should be very sensitive to people's situation, because you see how someone says something and a person just responds with a very rude comment, and you don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know how that person, because I saw one video. It was a comedian making a skit about hugging people, and then he would just bypass you. And then in one of the videos, one woman ran mad. Like, she was very angry because you don't know what she's going through. And maybe she really just wanted a hug.
So
and you just passed her. And I was like, okay, this is skit to you, but you're not sensitive enough to see, okay, what if this person is going through something and really needed a hug? And I'm just
hug, yeah.
She cried, like she just threw her bag away and just began crying. And I was like, no, this is not skits, please. Don't do this. So we should be very sensitive to people's situation, having a listening ear, being sensitive, and actually being a support system. That if something is wrong with someone, you can actually hold the person's hand. Seek help for the person. If you have communities, if you know that you cannot be of help, and then you know of communities, take the person there, hold the person's hand, be the person's strength to just, because people really need this support system. Be the person's support system and just help out.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It takes a lot for you to actually want to help people, because most people will come from the angle like, I need help too.
Yeah.
Who's going to help me? Who is helping me after all? So I think the way we think also helps, because if you know that, I mean, I feel like, for me, I'm just saying like, oh my goodness, I might not have everything, but I notice something is wrong with this person. It's just like you said.
Yeah.
And my mind tells me, don't judge. Just first of all, put your hands on the shoulder. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Sometimes by doing that, the person begins to even speak without asking questions.
Yeah.
Because all the person has lacked is that care.
You get, and it can be vulnerable.
Yes. Like my mom passed away. She was she was not loved by the people around her. And all I asked them on the phone at the time was, show her love.
Yeah.
She was vulnerable to fake prophets, to spiritual people, and people were condemning her for everything. I said, no, if she can get love from your people, you bring the right pastors and people, she will not go this way.
Yeah.
And they were all filled with anger and bitterness. They could not see
that comprehension.
what I was talking about. So this is a very sensitive topic, and it's something that you keep go on and on and on and on. And for people that are out there, if you're watching this video and you think you want people to hear your voice, you want to say something, you're going through something, please go ahead. Make a comment. You want to talk to us? Go ahead. You want to be on the show? Go ahead. Whatever story you want to share, whatever pain that you have kept within you for this long and no one seems to understand you, we understand you, because you won't believe we've gone through a lot. So we understand. So please, try to love people. Love people no matter what. Try to show care no matter how little. You never can tell how far and how much it will take, because we put limits to ourselves. We say, oh my goodness, I'm like this, that person is like this. We cannot go on the same ride. I am his boss, he's my servant, I cannot talk on his shoulder. Don't look, there's no servant, there's no king. We are all born the same way. When you think like that, we have the same blood, we all came from the earth, we're going back to the same earth. If you think like that, I tell you, you love people for who they are. Do you have any last word?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I just want to share something personal. Recently, I resigned from a job because the manager was becoming very toxic and she was giving me lots of anxieties. And I said to myself, I think, because I realized that I'd wake up, I'm so worried. I'd wake up, I'm so nervous of what mail am I going to receive today? What am I going to do today? What am I going to see? What attitude would I be receiving today? And I just said to myself, you know what, Faith? This money you're receiving, it's not worth all this anxiety that you're going through, because I wasn't organized anymore. I was always very nervous. What would I was scared of opening the Slack channel, like where I work, because I'm like, am I going to go and see a message this morning and just disorganize everything? There was a remote work, but even the person is remote, it was still, I was very tensed. And I said to myself, you know what? I am going to do this for myself. So the final words I'd have is prioritize self-care. As an individual, prioritize self-care, and it's going to help you live a seamless life. Life can have many hurdles, but if you prioritize self-care, you would have a seemingly seamless life. So self-care is very key. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for staying tuned. And we hope you have something to learn from all that we've talked about today.
Yes.
Till we come your way again. This is Kaine Kranda. Be positive. Thank you and bye for now.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Take a seat, let's have a chat. What's going on with you? Something fun, something new. Let's see what we can do. It's time to talk.